Hey everyone, Rick here. I just wanted to say a few words about a question that keeps coming up, especially when things are remote, as we are until the end of January. And that is about pacing, what you should be reading when. Um, and you're not going to like the answer I give you, but it's the correct answer. And the correct answer is start learning the material as soon as you can. So I think the issue is that when things are in person, there is this natural pacing, right? There's a quiz. So we have lectures on Monday, Wednesday. There's a quiz, let's say on Monday. I lecture on certain material on Wednesday, and then the Monday after that. And that sets up this kind of pace. The thing is to realize that that pace is not there for those types of lectures because that's some optimal learning pace. It's there because of scheduling reasons from the registrar, right? And that just means that I can't lecture on the next chunk of material until Wednesday after the quiz on Monday. Um, if I could, I'd lecture on it right away. Right? You take a quiz and then everyone would just stay there and I'd do a 2 hour lecture, cover all of the material for the next chapter. And then you'd have a whole 10 days to go back over that material again, do exercises, get really good at it. So the pacing that's there for in-person or synchronous lectures is not there because it's a great pacing. It's just there because of artificialities of scheduling. Um, what is optimal? Optimal is doing it as soon as you can. So here's what I recommend. As soon as the quiz is over, as soon as you have time, if you have time immediately after, great. If you have time the next day, great. Maybe 2 days later because you have a bunch of other classes, that's still okay. But don't wait 5 days or 3 days. Um, as soon as you can, start reading the material, start watching the lectures, start doing the exercises. I'll say a little bit more about all of those in a sec, but just get going. Why? The sooner you learn stuff or try to learn it, the sooner you will figure out which things you don't understand, and the more time you have to get clarity on those and correct them before the next quiz. Okay, there's no reason to wait. So if the general advice of just do everything, you know, as soon as is convenient, if that doesn't work, think of it this way. Um, I'm just going to make something up. It's arbitrary, but it's arbitrary. It's pretty good, and hopefully it's not too much of an imposition. Just 2 days after a quiz, whenever that is, read the first half of the chapter. Watch the first half of the lectures for that chapter. 4 days after the quiz, so 2 days after the first half, read the second half. Watch the second half of the lectures. Um, that's a decent clip. Um, Start right away on the exercises. There's a huge number of exercises online, and they're there to help you prepare for the quizzes. Now, we don't assign any of those um, for a lot of reasons. Uh, the main one is it takes a lot of time to grade those. But secondly, different people are just different. Some people pick up on the stuff really quickly. Some people don't pick up on the stuff really quickly. Some people can do, you know, 10, 15 exercises and they've got it. Some people can do a whole bunch of exercises and still aren't very confident. So there's no number of exercises we could assign that is actually good. Different people just have different needs. So this is just like the pacing, it's kind of on you to self-assess, at least to some extent. And what I mean by that is start doing the exercises. All of the solutions are also there. You can check the solutions. Sometimes you'll know right away that there's something wrong. Like even though you try to get them right, you're not getting them right. That's what discussion sections are for. Go there, talk to the TA, look at how they're being done. Hopefully you'll get clarity there. If that's not enough, there's also office hours, mine and the TA's. You can go to anyone's office hours, not just the TA who's officially your TA, but you can go to any of the TA's office hours. And if there's like some type of problem that you're not able to do, you think you get it right, but it turns out your answer isn't the same one as in the solutions, just come to office hours and we can help you through that. A couple of major pieces of advice. Start with the easy exercises. So I'm going to tell you about a very common experience in my office hours with students who aren't able to solve the problems. and there's probably 2/3 or maybe even 80%. The issue is one of the two issues here. Students will come into my office hours. Rick, I just can't solve this problem. I need help. I'm not getting it. First thing I do is just watch them, say, okay, well, what kind of problem are you talking about? Almost always, they start working on a medium to hard problem. They don't start with an easy one. I just let them pick. I just say, okay, work out one. And they bust out one that's medium or sometimes even hard. That's the first issue. If you're having trouble solving ones that are medium or difficult, go back to the easy ones. That's probably the problem, is you either didn't do any easy ones because you thought they were too easy, or you were just going too quickly. Second problem is they're going way too fast. So if it's like a proof, they'll say, okay, well, I try to do this proof, and then I want this, and I got to do this in modus ponens, and whoa, slow down, take a breath. Okay, so what are you trying to do in this proof? Well, this is the conclusion, so I need to assume, okay, wait, take a breath, slow down. And a lot of the time, not always, but probably at least half of the time, when I get the student to slow down, just, okay, think about what you're doing. What is it you're trying to, I don't give any answers at all. I just am kind of like a Zen coach there, trying to get people to breathe. At least half the time, they end up doing the proof correctly, once I just get them to slow down and stop thinking they have to rush. So my two pieces of advice as you are preparing for the quizzes with the exercises is start with the easy ones, okay? Even if you think they're too easy, you've watched the videos, you've read the text, you think you understand the material well enough to just do the easy ones. Still, going through the process of actually doing the easy ones builds up skills and reflexes that are going to help you. And A and B, you may not actually be able to do the easy ones, and it's good to realize that before you try the medium ones. So start with the easy ones. Even if they are too easy, just spend 10, 15, 20 minutes doing those. If you can't do those correctly, come to office hours, because it's very likely there's just some little thing that somehow you misunderstood. And once we see that and correct it, then you'll just crush the easy ones, right? But the sooner you can do that, the better. So start with the easy ones. If you can get them all, and do them slowly, there's no rush, but just do a bunch of them. Then move on to the medium ones. Do them slowly, okay? I think part of the problem with the pacing is that in my lectures, and also when you're reading the text, especially if you read quickly, it looks like things are being solved really fast. Now in lectures, there's a reason for that. I don't want each lecture to last 4 hours. Okay, so when I'm doing proofs or truth tables, I'm usually going at a decent pace. I try not to rush, but I'm going at a pretty good clip. And I think a lot of people it absorbs into their head that that's the clip a proof has to be done at. And when you've been teaching for proofs for 30 years, then sure, go with that clip. But when you're learning for the first time, slow it down. And if you breathe, you slow down, you start with the easy ones until you've got all those, move on to the medium ones, do them slowly at first, then move on to the harder ones, you'll get the skills, okay? And the speed will come. As you do more and more, you'll find yourself just able to go at a better clip while still not making mistakes and still not struggling to figure out what the next step is, because you'll just have enough experience that you'll be able to do it. Now, how much that takes, that's up to different students. Some students pick up on it really quickly. They'll do a couple easy ones, they've got them, they move to the medium ones, they get those pretty quickly, they do the difficult ones, and they're fine. Other students have different strengths besides logic, besides formal stuff, and so they may have to put more time in. Either way, there's a huge number of exercises, okay? So it's kind of up to you to self-assess a little bit. There are practice versions of every quiz and the final, and they're there so that you know what kind of problems you need to get good at. You just look at the practice quiz. It's going to have the same type of problems, same number of problems as the real quiz. So you just need to get efficient at solving those types of problems. And that's what the exercises are for. It's exactly the same kinds of problems as in the quizzes, and they're there to help you get better at doing those so you can crush the quiz when the time comes. And even though this sounds like it's all on you to self-assess and do all the exercises, in one sense it is, in another sense it's not, because there's discussion sections, which are where you go to talk with the TA and possibly other students to work things out together and make sure that you know as a group how to do them. And there's office hours that you can always show up to get clarity on how to do things or figure out if there's some kind of mistake you're making that's preventing you from getting the correct answer to a lot of the exercises you're doing. So that's my advice. Start as early as you can. So when I say go quickly, I don't mean rush through stuff. I mean, don't wait to start. As soon as you're done with the quiz, as soon as you have some free time after that, maybe it's immediately, maybe it's a couple days, you've got a bunch of other classes and stuff. But as soon as you have time, get started on the next chapter. Get started on the exercises and start with the easy ones. Go to discussion sections to get clarity on those. Come to office hours, but you know what the next quiz is going to be like because it's in the text. You know what kind of problems you're going to need to get good at. We'll do what we can to give you that, to help you with that, but you also need to just get on pace and start with those exercises. As always, with any of this, if you have any questions, let me know. And good luck. And I'll see you hopefully in person soon.